I got this bloody teddy bear of a cat on me. All right, come on, Sass. Hop off. All right. No, move along. Episode 59 of the Infrared podcast. So good. We've done so many episodes. Tonight, we have Mizhap on. Jess. So how you doing?
Good.
Yeah. How's things? How's life? How's everything? Yeah.
Pretty chill. Yeah. Solid. Yeah.
So DJing, scratching, music. How'd you get into it? What's going on? Like,
I got into it when I was 17. So like.
17.
Yeah. Just to a family friend, or like my stepmom knew a guy that was just looking for DJs. So I didn't know how to DJ or anything, but she signed me up.
Really, just out of the blue, like you got a gig coming up.
No, she just kind of said to the guy Matt like that I'd be a good fit for it, and that I knew music, and that I didn't know how to DJ, but I'd learn pretty quickly, I guess, and went from there. And I'd met him, and he runs Ultimate DJ in Mandurah. Yeah. And we ran together for a couple of years, and I do functions, and was playing Norma Jeans.
Norma Jeans? Like a clothing shop?
No. Norma Jeans is that's Glory Jeans is a cafe. Is Norma Jeans a clothing shop?
Yeah.
No. Norma Jeans is an old club in Mandurah, so it's like the upstairs at Players Bar.
Oh, and that's just been renovated into upstairs or something, right? That new place?
So then they swapped around a few years later, and Players Bar took over Toucan. Okay. So basically like just swapped names. So yeah. But it was like 70s, 80s, like 90s music.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that what you kind of grew up on in a way, or like?
Nah, not at all.
So what is your influence and everything?
My influence, like, didn't really have much growing up, except for like watching Rage with my dad and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Rage is amazing.
Yeah,
honestly.
So that was pretty much my like weekly dose of music, and then just like my parents' CDs, and pretty good taste, but not what I know now, you know. And then I think going to high school, I'd grown more into like realizing that I really liked beats, and like hip hop just became my thing. And one of my like good mates gave me his iPod, and it was just full of hip hop, like everything, man. And so I just listened to that for weeks, and that just became like. And then just
burnt it into your brain, kind of. And you just knew it inside and out.
Yeah. I didn't want to play 70s and 80s music. That was just like.
Yeah, it was just.
That was my first gigs, I guess.
Yeah, that first introduction into it.
Yeah.
So then, like, what was your very, very first gig? What actually was that though? Like,
so that was
like a birthday or?
No, that was actually at the club. That was at Norma Jeans.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And then I'd do like, I don't know, all, you know, functions and school discos and like general mobile DJ stuff, I guess.
Did you take your own equipment as well, or did they provide the equipment through that company
to the functions and like all that kind of stuff? Yeah, so we'd take the equipment from the company and
yeah. What was that, like CDJs or?
The first lot, yeah, but they were like 400s, like.
Oh, the old school ones then.
Yeah.
Can you pull them up?
Mixer and like
yeah, the white dot EQ, so it's like proper beat matching by ear kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I started on, and it's so small, man, and like lightweight, and just I remember when I turned 18, my parents got me a cake that looked like one of them.
Oh, that's sick.
Bad boy.
Yeah, it was dope.
Did cash converters stick on it as well?
Man, you'll definitely find some of those in cash converters. And like and you could record your mix like via USB. So it was really dope. Yeah.
No, I had no idea that Pioneer could even do that. I thought it was just like a Nexus thing, or
no. So not on the CDJ, but on the DGM. On the DJM.
Yeah, so in the center one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just like use the line out kind of thing.
Yeah, so just like on the mixer, like it would just have you just put a USB in and press record.
Honestly, I thought that was just like new technology that they came out with.
Man, that was like the first way I like learned or did.
Yeah.
My mixes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then with that, like with your progression into hip hop and stuff like that, because like you've won a few competitions, you've done you're pretty renowned for scratching and stuff, right?
Like, I haven't won any yet, but
okay. But you've close.
I will. I'll get there.
100%.
Yeah. In terms of battling and that kind of stuff, I think I'm more known or more known for like my juggles, like and body tricks in terms of that sense. Actually, I got hit a bit hard last year, like realizing how much better I need to be at scratching. Like that was like my major downfall in DMC. Just like an element that you really need to have, and I think that was one thing that really I really noticed, and like, I want to put a lot of energy into. So but I am like known in that kind of sense.
Yeah, well, I got to say, like the word around town that I've heard is just like you're the best scratch DJ out there.
Oh,
that's in my opinion.
Like maybe in like a small pocket of Perth.
No,
but like,
no,
definitely not, man.
No.
Best in Perth.
In my books, you're pretty up there.
Oh, thank you.
But how did you even get into that? Because you went from the CDJ 400s, but then did you just learn turntables, or do you get the chance to play on some Technics or anything like that?
Yeah. So like the first time I'd like actually seen, I'd seen turntables in videos and all that, and one of my good friends showed me the 2 Cent videos, like Craze.
2 Cent?
So Craze, DJ Craze, it's probably like my favorite turntablist, and I reckon like for the last few years I've just thought like if I could just become, you know, like the female embodiment just like of him, but like, you know, maybe mixed with like Emmy and like maybe Yuto, and I don't know, just get all my favorite turntablists and like be all of them. That'd be sick. But you're not gonna be, you're just gonna be yourself. So like, yeah, Craze, 4 Color Zach, like
these bad boys.
They're fucking dope, man. Yeah.
So then like,
we can't.
So like that's the first time I think I'd seen that kind of stuff, and I just got obsessed with the idea of that, you know, like. And then in the shed at like Ultimate DJ, he had like some bright green, like
fluoro,
more like plant green, you know.
Okay, yeah,
but they were really nice, and and so I got like ended up saving all my like DJ money, and I got a grant from EAV to make me a pair, and then I just started like playing with them.
Wow.
Yeah, he like custom or like maybe not custom creates them completely, but he puts them together and like powder coats them.
He is a legend. Quick shout out to EAV. Like they are top of the top.
Yeah, everyone knows, but if you didn't,
yeah, they're definitely up there.
Yeah.
But then, so with that, like, how many years did you practice for and stuff like that before you start getting your first? Because like you had your gigs with doing functions and stuff like that, but actually using turntables out and about in a live gig, did you have a long period of practice or anything?
I think like maybe mid 2018 is when I like started using them out. But I wasn't using them properly, you know, like I was just using them in terms of like a player as maybe a CDJ would work, you know, like I didn't even really use cue points or like cue points of the record, you know. I would more just like set up DVS points and that would be it. But
what's a DVS point as well?
Or like a hot cue point, I guess.
Okay,
but like more like your pads on. Yeah, just a cue point.
Yeah, just to jump around and
But in instead of saying manual cue point or digital, I'll just say hot cue. But I think and then I started hanging out with Buddha a little bit, and like he showed me like basically like how to use like markers and stuff, so I could visually see it on the record as opposed to looking at a computer or like.
I've only recently stumbled upon Buddha. Is he a scratch DJ as well? Or?
Yeah, dude. So Buddha's done like a few DMCs now. He's won a couple in WA.
Okay, wow. I might have to hit him up. And get him on.
Yeah, very talented, and taught me a lot about like DMC and like battle DJing, and like convinced me to enter DMC like the first time, you know. And I think like without him doing that, like I probably would have just still kept sitting on the side being like, nah, wait till I'm good enough. But you're never going to reach that point until you just like enter, man, you know. And that was one of the best things I've ever done for myself, like personally and DJ wise, you know. I think.
See, I always say to quite a few of my guests on last year, say to them, it's like the best thing you can do is throw yourself in the deep end, because if you do that, then it's just like you come out of it like, well, next time it shouldn't be that bad, right?
Yeah, well, you might as well just like dive in, you know, like
exactly, yeah. So then with that first competition and stuff like that, like how was it? Were you anxious and nervous, or you just go in there and be like, I'm gonna kill it, this is gonna be good?
Nah, dude. Oh man, yeah, I was so nervous. I was vomiting in the bathroom when McShane was calling my name to like get on the stage. You know, like it was gross. It was all just like beer as well, like. Yeah. And you know, just one beer because I could only stomach one, but
But
yeah,
everyone goes through things like this, though. Like,
I feel like it's the first time I've ever
like experienced that emotion in a way.
Maybe not like that, but like that room was full of people that like I like look up to in a way, or like that have done that stuff before, or like actually know that and like appreciate it. And I think, yeah, like man, my parents came, and my parents like, you know, they've come to my gigs before, but like they've never really known what that was about. And I think even just to like show people like this is what I've been doing, and like it was really cool, you know. And yeah, you know, to have the boys there, and
just all the support and
just the support, man. Like everyone's so supportive and like appreciative in that field of like the DJ culture, especially like as much as like you're battling against each other, and like it's sometimes cutthroat, like it's good to better each other. Not cutthroat as in like never like badly. Like I feel like I feel everyone that I've met in the battlefield has been willing to help, you know. Like even like bass at like last DMC, like 2019. No, that was last year was 2020. So 2020 DMC. Like bass like reached out and offered to like help me out, and like helped me put a scratch track together, and you know, like just even having that support and people being like, they just want to see their city win, you know, like it's about their city winning. It's not just like individual. Well,
it's a little bit of individual, I reckon.
It's individual.
It's, but it's just, you know, being able to win, as you said, like getting your city to win. And
and it's also just a culture of like being better. Like I feel, it's a culture of growth, and I think that's like what's compelling about it.
So how does a DJ battle another DJ? Like I'm so new to all of this, honestly, because I'm just I guess you could say button pusher, but you know.
So like battle DJing in terms of that sense is DJing with records, beats. It's more about showmanship, stage presence. It's about your ability to use your body to do tricks, your ability to scratch and like find different accents and like patterns and do stuff that people haven't done before, you know. It's about getting like as creative as you can, but also staying sonic, you know. And I think there's just like so many elements to it that
it just sounds like the next level of DJing kind of thing. Like it's just one step up. It's like intermittent and then just advanced kind of
but
thing.
I feel like, I don't know, I've spoken about this like to a few people, and you know, especially like a few people that are great in terms of mixing and like putting on a show, even just like being able to mix well and like select great tracks and perform well with their energy. And I think everyone's different as an artist and a DJ, you know, like just because people are doing this over here or whatever, like it doesn't mean they're like that much better than you in that sense.
It's just it's just different.
They're just different levels of like
well, it's like comparing like, you know, Picasso to Leonardo da Vinci in a way.
Yeah, it's just
kind of thing.
Different types of art forms. And,
exactly. Yeah. And it is all about like, you know, as you said, kind of like not showmanship, but it's like being able to put on the show in a way. Because when you go up there, it's like what we were just saying before we went live. It's like if you go up there and you have fun, more than likely the crowd and the punters will be like, well, she's having fun, I want to have fun. Like,
dude. Like
they'll get into it. Like,
people love seeing passion, you know what I mean? Like
that's it.
Like how many times have you been to a show and seen a musician and just thought like, oh my god,
just,
you know, just
blown
like,
away kind of thing.
Like looked at them just because like they're having an amazing time. And sometimes they haven't been the best thing you've heard, but they have charisma and they're enjoying it and they're making other people enjoy it. And I think
it's like an inspiration almost as well. Because then it's just like, I want to try that, I want to give that a go.
But compared to going to a show and seeing someone looking like they're not enjoying it, it's very different.
Exactly. If you're just standing in the corner and just pushing buttons and just doing nothing and no smile on your face, then people just go, well, he's all right, he's having a good time, I guess.
Exactly. But I feel like sometimes it's a mental battle, you know, like I don't know.
Well, that's also the thing as well, where it's like when we had Gengar on, we were discussing this, where it's like, you know, sometimes even if you've had a shit day or something bad's happened or you've had a bad week, you got to go to work and just go,
man.
Yeah, you got to go and put a smile on and be like, game time. You gotta make money. You gotta make this work.
The hardest DJ battle of them all. It's a battle with yourself.
It's the mental.
Man. It's the battle to get up out of that like 1 hour speed nap before your 11 p.m. set. You know, it's just.
Yeah, you got it though.
And I don't want to complain because we do have a great job, and it's great to be DJing right now and like being able to do it. But yeah, it is. It's a physical and not physical, social and mental toll like on your mind, I think.
Well, it's late nights, early mornings kind of thing. It's just late nights that go into early mornings, but just it's different from a normal job in a way. It's not 9 to 5. It's not the simple like I've been discussing this with
Danny?
Yeah, I think I've been discussing with you, or maybe Mitch a little bit.
Jesse as well.
Maybe Jesse as well. Shout out to my mate in Melbourne, where it's like, with our jobs, it's kind of like, it's not the norm in a way. Yeah. And then to have families and do this and do that, it's a struggle kind of. It can be because...
You're not landscaping, you're not moving furniture and manager.
Well, no, it's just like,
I mean, I'm not saying I want to be doing that, but, No, but
it's...
Like, I don't really want to... I don't want to dress up anymore, Like, or not even dress up, but like sometimes you don't want to put pants on, and like I feel like that's an everyday person problem. But
I do that all the day, every day. And so no,
like you're not allowed to wear trackies to the club anymore. So.
Exactly,
yeah.
But then, so with that as well, like, have you had any like mentors or anything like that, or anybody that helped you? Like, or was it all like YouTube videos, kind of, to like learn the different tricks and the skills you've got now, kind of?
Like at this current moment in time, I think it's been a huge combination. But I think like from the starting point, Matt, like the guy that owns the Ultimate DJ, he showed me a lot of beat match. Like he showed me how to beat match, he showed me how to mix, he taught me about equipment and like how to set up, how to pack down, like real fundamental stuff. Like shout out Matt, like it was really, really fundamental. And I think even going in there, I had no idea about music. Like I just wanted to DJ hip hop and R&B, and as a mobile DJ you can't really do that all the time if you want to make money from it. So
that's it.
He showed me the importance of like having to read a crowd and like knowing that like you do have to bend sometimes, but like I think once you have, at the same time, it's realizing that once you have established yourself and realized what you want to do, then you can go from there. But
but it's like putting the hard yards in and then realizing that you can kind of just do your own thing almost, but then it will work.
I think it was so important to do all those functions and learn. Like, man, we'd be sitting there, like, so we'd do like hours of mixing in the shed, like, and then go inside, have dinner with him and his wife, and we'd have like theory, and it was like DJ school. It was awesome.
That's so good though.
I spent most of my time there, and just.
But that's the thing. Not many people get that opportunity.
Top 10 80s hits and all this stuff, and they don't. But it really helps because like. Well,
it shows that you were dedicated and you put the time in. You want to do it, kind of thing. But it
also makes you what's that? What's that word?
Appreciative, but
when you can do like lots of things and you're diverse, range.
Yeah,
it made me diverse and I had range, and and I think it made me realize what I didn't like, but it also made me realize how much stuff worked together and didn't, and like doing functions was it was painful, but it really helped. And Matt was like, I reckon, my first mentor, and then probably my second was Buddha. And Buddha taught me a lot, like obviously about, as I was saying, battling and trying not to fall into the same like patterns all the time. I swear I would just do the same scratch like every day, all day, just like just this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this like same count, and I think I still do it. It was just learning to be more elaborate on my vocabulary in that sense.
And like creative in ways, kind of thing as well, right?
And realizing like you can always do more, well,
that's it as well. It's like since COVID's been back, like since it's been back, but since COVID ended for us, it's like I can say that I've kind of increased my skill in a way, but then with that it's just like, I don't want to just play this into Dancing Queen anymore. I want to do this and this and this and then do some sort of cool effect and then go into it. Just to try and add that level of entertainment almost kind of thing.
I just feel like if you're bored, know that everyone else around you is like 10 times more bored.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like...
And you have to push your own boundaries. Because if you don't push your own boundaries, then it's like, well, I'm just playing this... Because I had a period of time where I said this to a good mate of mine, where it's like I kind of figured out the formula in a way. And when I say the formula, it's like, okay, if I play X, Y, and Z, well then guarantee that the crowd will kind of like it for a pub of this this specific kind of crowd kind of thing. But then it's like at the end of it, it's like you just play the same thing day in, day out.
Oh, dude,
and it gets to you.
I think everyone fell into that pattern, but like I remember when I fell into it and I was just hating myself, and like you just know that's not a good sign, and it's just like it's just the fact of if your job isn't fun anymore and like there's so much music out there, like
that's it.
I don't know, I got to a point where I just thought like I'm not playing the same fucking crap anymore, like like as much as I'm not going to go there and play trance or something, that's not what I'm going to do. I just think like mixing it up and being able to play familiar things and also like things that they didn't know they wanted to hear. Like I feel like people used to go to the club because they wanted to. That's the only way they could hear music, Back in the day, like before we had all this other crap.
Exactly, mobile phones.
Before I was around, before you were around, like that's the only way people could hear music. And nowadays it's everywhere, and like people want to hear like this random shit they heard on Spotify,
or TikTok,
SoundCloud, TikTok. I've never even been on TikTok.
Yeah, neither.
So like, it just is insane, and
and it's the influence as well, right? Well, it's just like all the kids now want TikTok nights. Yeah, it's like what the hell even is TikTok music? And then it's like you have to kind of catch up with the lingo almost.
That's a good question. What's your opinion on like the sort of hip hop and SoundCloud sort of that and the hip hop that's being played on SoundCloud and TikTok that's being really pushed by like the really new generation of listeners? Like Juice WRLD, that sort of style.
It definitely has its place. Like I feel. I'm one of those.
Tough question.
No, I will answer it honestly. I'm one of those people that like when something first comes around, I'll just be hating on it because I liked the first thing, and that's not something you can really be as an artist or like someone that's trying to evolve in music and grow. Like you need to be open and listen, and like everything's evolved from something, like hip hop, rock, reggae, like you've got all this stuff and it's come from like blues and roots. So I just think, and like the people that like that stuff will say that they don't like that, but like it came from that, and so I think it's just about like
it's like the evolution almost.
It's just about adapting and like not being completely adaptive and moldable, but being open to it, and I was so closed around like to it for so long.
See, I 100% agree with that though. I'm the exact same, where it's like, you have like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and it's like they're classics. Yeah. But then when you have like, say, kids go off and like, say me and my mate have been discussing this where it's like Blue Monday by New Order, it's actually back in the charts again, in the iTunes charts. But what's actually happened is some guy has actually gone through and made like a tropical housey version of it, and that's what I mean, it just like blows back up into charts. New Order would be laughing because they'd be cashing in on it, but at the same time it's like it takes the elements away from the original track.
To be honest, I really don't like that new tropical house stuff.
No, neither.
That's just me doing my...
No, but it's the same thing, right? Like 6 months ago I was like, no, I don't want house to be the new big thing, this and that. But now it just seems like with Scarborough, it's kind of becoming like the norm almost.
Yeah.
And clubs are pushing for it, and the new generation of kids like... Yeah,
but like what was it? What year is it now? 21. So I reckon 2015 is like when like tropical house, Felix...
Yeah, Felix the House Cat, was it? Or?
Yeah, something, I don't know, something like that.
Wait,
Felix?
Was it Felix Jan or J? It was Jaen or something. But yeah, it was Tropical House, and that was all emerging, like Sigala and all that. And like some of it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's cool, but like everyone has their own flavors as well.
Exactly. Yeah, this is another thing I always say about genres. Like I had the same issue when it's like not rhythm, but when trap first started coming out.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a lot of bad trap.
Oh, yeah.
But you have a lot of gold that shines through the shit.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah. And it's just you got to wade through it and find the good stuff.
That's the thing. Like, what is crap? Like, who are we to say what's crap? That sounds good to someone.
Do you like Flock of
At
Belly?
least like 500,000 people for some of them.
Did you like Flock of Belly or Waka Flocka Flame?
Oh, no.
Do you like Waka Flocka? Do you like Gucci?
I was never a fan of Flocka Flocka.
No.
Gucci Mane. OJ the Juice Man, and that guy's fucking garbage.
Look, as I said, each to their own. Everyone has their place.
That's exactly, But that's also the thing where you can't criticize it, because at the same time, it's like someone spent hours and hours making that track or put their time and effort into it.
Just know that, like, if you're going to sit and talk trash, that, like, one day when you start releasing your own shit,
Exactly. Someone's gonna
just know. Like, it's gonna come anyway,
Yeah.
regardless of talking shit or not. But like, it's gonna happen.
That's it.
Some people are gonna hate it, and like,
there's always haters. You can't
those
escape
people.
them. That's it.
So,
You just have to block them out and just keep pushing, keep trucking.
yeah. You know? And like, I like artists now that I first hated, and like, yeah, man. Oh my god, you know, like, I remember I was DJing Metropolis and I was doing, you know, like, this versus this night, you know, like artist versus artist, or like Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B, right?
Yeah.
And I was resident there for a little while, or like, doing the Friday nights, and that's when they were doing it. And at that point, I really hadn't invested much into like Cardi B, you know. I was just like, man,
Yeah.
I hate hearing that voice.
Yeah, I'm the
hate
exact
it, like, all
same.
this stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's just,
But then we're looking for samples, me and Buddha, for like Cardi B samples from interviews and stuff, just to use as like funny little like breaks
just-
and stuff, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It was funny as fuck, man. Like after that, like, I don't know, I watched her interviews and she just didn't give a toss. Like,
Yeah.
she is who she is as an artist and as a person, and she's lived her life. She's quite comfortable in her
That's
shoes.
exactly
and,
it.
like, she was the embodiment of comfort, and I just thought, man, I actually really like her now.
Yeah.
And I went and did it, and after that I was like, damn, actually one of my favourite like female rappers now, just because like she actually doesn't give a fuck. Like next
Well,
to Megan Thee Stallion.
It's one of those things as well. It's like how much research goes into it. Because then it's just like with me, I don't listen to Cardi B. Not Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. But like ever since she released Super Bass, I was like, oh my god, what's going on? What's happening to the music industry, kind of thing. But then it's like she blew up. She took the whole entire American hip hop, like hip hop by storm.
Nicki with Chun-Li, like when Chun-Li came out, man, I just like, and
I don't think I've actually heard that track.
Chun-Li, and she copied Dreams by Biggie, and like,
Really, Dreams were Biggie.
yeah, or just playing Dreams, just playing. It's the same song, but
Yeah.
just ripped the shit out of that song, you know what I mean? Like bars on bars, and after that I was just like, but it took me that long to have respect for it, you know? And then I don't know, it just makes me realize like, man, I've been hating on artists for so long, or not hating on it, but just like sleeping on stuff, you know? Like,
Exactly, yeah.
where maybe you don't like their commercial stuff, but like that's what they've had to do to get heard, and like,
Exactly, yeah. To actually like kind of put them into the spotlight almost as well.
it's
yeah,
like you playing those functions.
exactly. It's like me playing those functions, or like when I'm at a venue and like sometimes, you know, you just sample a little pop song.
Exactly. Well, perfect example is like, you know, I don't like playing Venga Boys, but I have to, kind of thing.
Oh man.
That's it, right? Don't judge me for it.
But no, at the same time, like in the 90s,
Yeah, it would have been going off.
that was a hit.
Yep, that's
It wasn't like cheesy or anything. It was
It was an actual hit,
maybe it
yeah.
was still cheesy, but it was a hit.
Yeah. But it's just the way everything changes in the evolution, right?
Yeah.
And it's just how things just, you know, as time goes on.
Yeah.
So what do you think about mumble rap as well? Like, are you more of a 90s hip-hop girl?
Oh,
or?
definitely, man.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
yeah,
I'm all about
definitely.
Nas and Mos Def and, you know, Nate Dogg and
Dude.
the whole lot.
Nas was like, I think Nas was the first person I ever fell in love with without meeting
really?
him. Yeah. I went to see Nas
Well, when
20
you came,
Well, you
with-
saw him live.
With Lauryn Hill?
2016. Yeah.
Did he play like New York State of Mind and stuff
Dude,
like that?
played everything, man.
Oh,
and I was
Life's
like,
a Bitch?
oh,
Because that's one of my favorite
dude,
tracks.
you know he played that shit. He played,
Of course he did.
he played all the classics, bro. Like everything
Yeah.
from Illmatic, and then like a few other some things from The Message, and man,
That would have been so good.
every moment, like that was one of the best moments of my life, you know. Or nights, like Nas, man, Mobb Deep. Like I saw Mobb Deep when they came, and it was
That
just,
would have been good.
yeah. So yeah, I'm really into that stuff, and I think even just lately, instrumental kind of like jazzy hip hop. Like I feel if you could get a mix of like Gold Link and Madlib and just like mash them together, I would be all over that, you know. Like more than I am so them separately, but yeah, just
But it's just...
I don't know. Like, even a lot of UK rap I've been really digging.
I've only ever really dived into like the streets. Like the streets are classic.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know much UK hip hop, to be honest.
like you would know Little Sims.
Yeah, yeah, Lil
Yeah,
Sims is
yeah,
great.
and like Loyal Kana, man, like his beats are so dope, you know. And M Phases, like he produces all of Logic stuff.
I think
or,
I've
like, with
heard
Logic.
of M-Phase.
Yeah, and he does his own separate stuff as well.
But it's just quickly, I gotta say as well, it's so crazy that it's like music made in the 90s now is 30 years old. And it's just like to think back on it, it's like, you know, Biggie and Tupac and
so
this
crazy
and
to
that.
think we're almost 30 years old, dude.
I know. Don't say that. 2 years and I'm bloody 30 years old.
Okay, I got nothing to complain about then.
Yeah.
But
I'm old.
Yeah. But you know, yeah. I always grew up wishing I was around when that was...
Yeah, like prominent, like actually on the radio and stuff like that.
Like I wish I was going to record stores and like buying those like when they first came out, but at the same time, like we didn't grow up then.
Exactly, and that's one thing that I really wish about, like, you know, growing up in that era when it's actually being able, you know, you go down to a record store and you just go crate digging and you just find something, you're like, yes.
I mean, you can still do that now, but
it's just not popular and it's...
No, and it doesn't need to be, like, it doesn't need to be, but I feel...
It's just digitalized. Everything's digitalized
and
these
there's
days.
always a resurgence, but yeah, it is a bit of an odd one. And just like the more streaming services that come out, like, I don't know. Is it still going to be there in 20 years, you know? Yeah,
that's it. There'll just be a thing from the past almost, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, the 60s was 60 years ago. It's silly, right? But it's just as time goes on, what can you do?
2021. Just feels weird, you know? Like,
it's the start of a new era.
But we live in the new 20s.
That's it.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. So then with that as well, what else? Sorry.
I was gonna say, what is your like the crate digging like? Do you mess with a lot of East Coast like ELP and Fun Crusher Plus? Like,
yeah, man. Yeah.
Sort of shit?
So like most of my collection is just funk, soul, and hip hop. To be honest, I've got maybe a stack of like 5 drum and bass records, you know, and just random alternative stuff. But like most of the vinyl catalog I have or like play with the most would be like funk, dub, hip hop, rap.
How many vinyls have you got in total, would you say? Like 30, 40?
Shit. Nah, man, like
because it's expensive these days. Like I only just found out how much. I found myself
bankrupt like trying to start a record collection, you know. So
that's the problem with it as well, because they're collectors' things these days.
Yeah, but it just becomes an obsession, really. I'd say probably like 300 to 400 I'd have now, but like, yeah, man, I don't take those around.
No, of course not.
You know? I do when I can, but not the whole lot.
But does it fit into 1 crate or 2, 5 crates?
But that's the thing, you're not going to take them all out, you know.
Exactly.
You just got to pick.
Yeah, you go search and
go through the night before and like, what am I going to play tomorrow? And then you're going to come back and put them all back in their alphabetical slots and shit, you know? Yeah,
that's cool. I admire that. But then, so with your gigs out and about and stuff like that, so like when you go to do the scratching, like, you know, we've touched on like, you know, trying to throw in different skills and this and that and you know, everything. But then like, when you go out to a venue, do you ask prior, like, can I actually bring my own? You don't bring your own turntable, or do they?
No, man. I just use CDJs, really.
Okay, so like at places like the Peach Pit, you would just use CDJs. And stuff?
Yeah. Just use a vinyl.
I honestly always thought that you'd been bringing turntables to gigs and stuff.
Fuck that. Have you ever tried to play like a turntable in a packed club?
No, never.
The vibration is unreal, man. Like, there's no way that thing is going to play
without skipping.
For how long you want to play without skipping, or like, I don't know.
Have you ever tried digital vinyl as well at all?
Yeah. So like most of the time, I've really used DVS, to be honest. But like, yeah, at home I like to use my records and stuff. Yeah. Or even just like practicing, I use a combination. But I definitely want to. I think a goal of mine would be to make one of my next like DMC sets like an all vinyl. Yeah. You know, just
like
to,
all proper pop
like
vinyl.
Really like get myself to like grip the idea of using that.
So let's talk about the DMCs as well. So like, how long does it run for? It's just like a yearly competition, or?
Yeah, so it's annually.
Yeah.
And the comps usually, they usually announce it and they give you like 6 to 7 weeks.
Yeah, it's at Geisha as well, didn't it used to be?
I think maybe it used to be, but as long as I've known it, it's been at Universal Bar. But I've only been going for, well, last year would have been my 3rd year, so I've only gone twice. Yeah.
And it, like, does it just pack out? Like, is it during the week or on the weekend, or?
It's normally during the week, like on a Wednesday or Thursday.
Really? Okay.
For DJs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Gotta make bank.
But no, usually it's just a really nice intimate vibe. Yeah. Really nice and intimate, and it's just it's normally a few familiar faces and just like I don't know, people that are there to actually see it, you know.
And is it like a panel of judges as well, kind of, or
yeah,
do they
it's
hold up
usually
scorecards like 8?
No. Fuck that. If they did that would suck. Yeah, that would really suck.
Yeah, that'd be very
actually would ruin
interesting.
it as well, because everyone waits till the end. Like, you have to wait till the end to find out your placing, you know.
Yep. How many?
Honestly, man, yeah, that just reminds me of just about. It stresses me out so much, you know. I'm a different person during DMC, but there's normally like 6 to, well, since I've known it, there's generally been like 6 to 7 contestants. Like, there's not
So it's not
that
yeah,
many.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought there'd be like 20, 30, 40 or
There
something.
used to be, man. Like, it used to be, I guess, a bit more like a larger culture, but I think that over the years it's just become a bit more niche since, like,
Yeah.
actually using turntables and like all that has like phased out a bit more, you know.
Yeah,
But it's huge,
just,
like everywhere else, like except for Australia.
Yeah.
So
But it's just one of those things as well, because now it's like, you know, kids turn 18, they ask their mum for a DJ deck and they go and pick up a $400 deck and away they go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Instead of going, well, no, you have to learn vinyl, you have to learn beat matching by ear.
I wish I had parents like that, you know. But
how hard was it for you to learn beat matching as well? Because I still can't do it. I have to look at the screen. I can kinda, but you know, I'm not very good at it.
I guess by being so bad at it, like, I don't know. I have this thing, like, once I start something and realize like that's what I want to do, I can't be bad at it, you know. Like, I have to.
Yeah, like you put your mind to it and you get it done, kind of thing.
Like, I want to be known as like maybe a veteran in that field or something, you know. So that's what I'm going for, you know. And I think it's like the difference in like what you actually want from it and like how much it means to you. But like in terms of beat matching, I guess like it was being in that shed like 3 hours like every second night, like just
putting
doing the
hard yards.
same like what was. You know, because like when I first started, you'd be like, all right, cool. You know, you pick 3 songs and, you know, your formula or whatever, like find some things that work and like get your confidence up, you know. I think it was like run it into right there or something, you know what I mean?
Really?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that doesn't even work because right there is like 92. Like, or into work it or something, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd just be doing it until like I'd get it right every time, you know what I mean? And then like do it in a different way. And I think I didn't really get like that good at, you know, like I feel like beat matching or my obsession with getting it right would be like coming from shows where like I wouldn't get it right and be really embarrassed. And I think from that I would just like, I'd be practicing it a lot, you know, like, but yeah, it's just something that comes with time, you know, I think.
Exactly, yeah. It's just confidence behind the decks and just knowing what you're doing. Kind of.
And honestly as well, like not staring at a screen. Like I feel like I started on CDs, even though like USBs were available, you know what I mean? So like...
Yeah, you actually took a good path.
Yeah, like I couldn't see anything, you know?
Yeah.
And like that's the same thing for when people have started on vinyl and all that. And I think when you've started by looking at like waveforms and all that, you get so stuck into watching them when like 80% of the time they will link up, but like sometimes they don't, you know. And like that's when you got to realize that like it's not actually about what you see, it's about listening. So
exactly, yeah. No, 100%, because that's also like where you can apply it to like old analog recordings in a way, like Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that, where it will start out in a beat grid but then it'll go all over the place.
Dude.
And then it's like you got to know, it's like, oh, okay, well,
you don't have any training rules at that point, man.
Exactly, you got to adapt in a way.
Exactly.
Kind of.
Like I think the way I learned how to like find my own way of like scratching or messing with tracks was from like actually starting to do underground hip hop gigs, like when I was doing amps. And
do they have underground hip hop gigs at Amplifier?
we were doing it for a bit. Like not gigs, but like just one of the stages. Like we'd made when it became the bowling alley, I think.
Okay, yeah.
I've seen you there and you've been DJing.
Yeah,
like, it's good. You do DJ like underground hip hop and it's fucking sick.
Oh, thanks, man. But most venues don't want underground hip hop, you know what I mean? It's not like something you get a lot, but I was really, really loving that, like to be able to do that. But it's not something that speaks in volumes to a lot of people, but like the people that did come in and know it and appreciate it would be so appreciative, you know? But yeah, I found like, I guess, a new way to mix from being there, because like everything's all over the place, you know, like it's and it's meant to be, but like everything, like it might start on the 2 or like the 3, and then you've got like this weird buzz in the middle, and then like an interlude and like all this stuff, and you just got to learn to like set cue points and like, you know, like go forward or go back and sample stuff. And so I think it just like became a new way of doing things, you know.
Well, that's it. Just the continuous learning curve kind of thing. Just getting better and better and more experience in the actual industry and stuff.
Yeah.
With underground hip hop gigs and stuff like that, like I've seen some videos, but I've never been to one before. But you know when it's like the guys at the front, he's just like, yeah, on the microphone and stuff. Have you ever done anything like that at all?
Nah.
Because I've seen videos where like young Rachel's been doing stuff like that.
Rach, like and the 6KMC, like they're doing that. It's been really good to see. Like even the resurgence of hip hop, especially in Australia, and like the audience for it in the last like 2 years.
Yeah,
it's been huge, dude.
Yeah, it seems like Aussie hip hop's really taking off these days.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of, I'm not even gonna say potential, like it's just smashing it, you know. And I think it's taken ages for it to be heard because it always comes with some kind of accent. But I think people are getting really creative with it, and I haven't done anything like that. I really want to.
It's just
I guess that'll come about.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like in terms of those shows and all that, I feel like they're normally a crew or something, you know?
Yeah, it'd just be like a group and you gotta get like, into the group kind of, you know, like they'll give you a go.
They're all mates and like, or
because it looks like so much fun though.
Oh dude.
Like just in the background, just like hanging out, and there's just 2 guys, hype men, just making this vibe,
dude,
making this energy.
Bass does it all the time, you know, like with Shadow, and like I watch that and I think, man, I wish I was up there like emceeing with my shirt off. Not like that, but you know, I wish I could. I wish that was me.
I get you. Yeah. Have you ever tried emceeing or anything like that, or wanted to try and progress into that a little bit? I mean, I have to admit, I'm a little bit scared of the microphone. But that's just me.
So scared of it. I feel like I normally pick it up and I just say yo or something, and then I'll be like.
Yeah, I'm the exact same as like, is everyone having a good time?
Sweet. I just put it down. I used to just pick it up for last call, but I'd probably I'd just try to like rap it to the music or something, and it would just be so awkward feeling. But I feel now, I've had to do emceeing at some shows, like the biggest shows I've done, and it's been a bit like, I really don't want to do this, hey, but.
What shows?
So when I did an R&B Fridays gig in Kalgoorlie. For
Kalgoorlie?
For Barefoot on Brookmans, that was the event. And everyone was lovely, like all the ladies were lovely, but I think, you know, like if you hear someone on a mic and they pump everyone up, most of the time you're gonna be like, I just think I think too much about it. Like just pick the mic up and say something cool and put it back down, you know? But I done it there, I can't even remember how it went, you know? Like, I did it, so... And just, you know, like, when you've had to do countdowns for New Year's Eve and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, and so I have to admit, I've had a few countdowns where it's just been awkward. Like, I think it was like 3 or 4... I think 3 years ago. Can't remember exactly where it was, but I was, like, trying to do the countdown. I got interrupted at 5, and I'm just like... No, go away. Like, you're trying to continue the countdown.
Don't let anyone interrupt you.
Yeah, and it's just kind of put me off, and it's like, you know, the nerves and the anxiety. It's like, oh God, here we go. Hopefully this works out.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
I want to be a better MC, you know? That's something I do want to focus on.
It's all just practice, though.
Yeah.
I would definitely say, like, because I've been getting into weddings and stuff like that. I'm just thinking that if I keep doing weddings, that will improve my MCing tenfold, hopefully. Because then you kind of have to go like, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Bride and Groom are rocking up. Everyone please stand up and get your glass and do something cool kind of thing.
Yeah, I hear that. But like, I don't know. I hated emceeing weddings as well, you know? I feel... well,
it's so much pressure.
Yeah, there's even more pressure in that.
And you don't want to ruin their night. You don't want a bridezilla. It's the last thing you want.
No, I mean, I feel like you normally have one anyway, so like...
Yeah, that's it. It's just somewhere in the night they'll complain about something.
Yeah, exactly.
You never want to ruin a woman's big night. You know what I mean?
It's the wedding. It's the wedding night. So what would some of your biggest gigs and stuff like that, like... Because how long... You've only been doing it for like... How long did you say? 2-3 years now? With... Because you've been doing it for a long time. But then like... out and about doing like, you know, not Scarborough Beach, Peach Pit and, you know, other things and stuff?
Well, I've been DJing for 7 years, but I reckon like probably since I quit my job was when I started doing like everything more regularly.
Yeah. How long into your DJing when you quit your job and stuff?
I was already DJing, so I was already DJing, but I was working full time as well, and it was just like no good. So I just cut that off and went to DJing full time.
Yeah. That would have been stressful and tiresome.
Yeah, dude. I feel like nothing was fun at that point. You know, like I wasn't good at my day job, and I wasn't good at DJing anymore.
You just be tired all the time.
Yeah. You're just a walking zombie at that point. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like making sacrifices and choosing what you really want to do. But I think for so long I was just scared to like make DJing a thing that I had to do to get money because I don't know. Like,
well, it's a big jump. Like, even with my parents, they're just like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, you know, you can do this, but you got to get the hours and you got to make it work. And then it's just like, it's the eternal hustle in a way.
Yeah, just like the hours and the missed time and like sleep and just getting used to that life, I guess. But it's been awesome. Like I can't complain. But I reckon it's been three and a bit years since I quit my job, and it's been really good. Like I was stressed for the first few months, but after that it was like 5 to 6 gigs a week, or like, you know,
that
on like a low
amazing.
gig that's like on a low week there's 3 maybe, you know.
Yeah, and that's still really good though.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you don't want to drop below 3. Like when you drop below 3, then it's like, okay, I need to get more work.
yeah. I feel like sometimes like when I do, it's okay because it's only for that week. You know, I feel like I've got 2 gigs this week, but I'm doing 6 next week, so it's all right.
Exactly, it makes up for it in a way.
Yeah. But in terms of big gigs, like I feel even recently, like New Year's Day and New Year's Eve for me were like some of the biggest gigs I've ever done. Like,
whereabouts were you? And what were you doing?
Well, not even biggest, but like the most like fun and enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? I was at the old synagogue on New Year's Day for like their block party. And that was really good. Like I did one of the main stages for close, but I did the smaller one, and I just had I had a really good crowd, you know. Like, did
you say New Year's Eve that was for?
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. Yeah.
Yeah,
because that place is huge.
Yeah.
Shout out to the GOG crew. That place is amazing.
Yeah, man. But they even like further to the venue, like they marked off like most of the car park and all of that for the footy ground in Freo.
No way. Okay.
Yeah. So the whole grandstand and everything like that. Yeah. It was really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was large. But I don't know, just like I don't really base my shows anymore off like biggest or anything like that. It's more like the enjoyment and like interaction I got from the crowd, and I feel.
But that's a really good thing, honestly. Because it shouldn't be about that at the end of the day. Oh, I played to 50,000 people. It should be like, you know, 5 people came up to me and said I did a good job. I'm happy with that.
Even like, you know, like 50,000 people, but like I feel like you can only really see 1,000. You know, like
exactly. Yeah.
So you can't even see past that to know if people are enjoying themselves, you know. And I feel like I look to people to think like, you guys feeling this, you know? And,
that's it. Yeah.
And if you can't see them or something like that, it might feel a bit jarring. But definitely just, I don't know, when you've got,
it's just
you can just
intimacy.
Feel it, like the vibe and the intimacy, and like when people are really giving you the energy that you're giving them back. It's like, it's awesome, you know. So
but that's it. It should always be like a give and return kind of situation.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you're giving all your energy and you're doing this and you're doing that, and then, you know, you're just playing to a bunch of bogans and they're not getting down to it. It's just like, oh, come on.
Yeah,
like,
that feeling really sucks.
Get into it, guys. Come on, please.
But sometimes, you know, that's not their thing and that's not what they want. But like, then that's not your crowd, you know. But and on New Year's Eve, like I did Canfield and NBC. And Canfield, I did the opening. I was doing it with Boston, so he like played.
Shout out to Boston
the
Switch.
later one, like 11 till 2, I think. And that was just honestly so much fun. Just one of those crowds that.
What was your countdown song as well?
Oh, so I didn't have to do a countdown, which was like a blessing on earth.
Yeah, that's not bad then. What happened for the countdown though? They already had like an MC all lined up?
No, so like Boston took over at 11, so he did the countdown.
Oh, okay, yep.
And then I'd gone to NBC to start at 12, so
yep.
Like I didn't have to do a countdown, although I did have to play a New Year's song, and I played.
Oh, drum roll.
No, I probably shouldn't have started with drum and bass because like I feel like I should have, but sometimes people really love drum and bass, and if you start with drum and bass and then don't continue with it, they're like, what the fuck happened? You know?
Yeah, I've had that a few times at Scarborough Beachwell where like you drop a few tracks and then everyone's just like, can you play more? And like, no, the manager's telling me I can't. I'm like, sorry.
Like, not too much.
And
but,
you just like, don't kill the vibe, but it's just so fast and it's like so good. Then you bring it back to 128 and it's like, oh, it's slow now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I love mixing it up with everything, but I'd started with Rushing Back by Flume, but the Echo and Sidetrack remix.
Oof.
Which I really loved, yeah.
I don't think
but,
I've actually heard that,
maybe that was a selfish decision on my part. I just love that song, and I thought everyone else would love it, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is you went in and like you did a good job and it worked, right?
Yeah.
It's like, as long as you can walk out of that and go, I had fun, they had fun. That's what matters.
Yeah, I did. We had a bit of an incident, I suppose, where some of the tiles from the roof like fell. And I was like DJing under the roof.
Okay.
Yeah. And
they didn't hit you or anything though, right?
No. It hit like the equipment, hit my hand slightly, but like it cut like the cables in half. Yeah. So like all the music stopped and like obviously, I mean, the power went out, the sound went off. We had to get like a new XLR and like run it to like the mains.
Oh wow.
And like reconnect all the power and stuff.
But I mean, accidents happen at all venues.
Yeah. Oh no, it was just really crazy, you know. Like I remember you asking me before, like what one of my most crazy experiences at a venue was while playing, and like that was definitely one of the weirdest, you know.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't even know what's going on,
literally having a part
right?
of a roof crumble and like hit your equipment and like
and cutting
the cables and it actually knocked one of my USB drives into the crowd, and like someone in the crowd had like brought it up to me. I was like, here you go.
Oh, that's so good.
And I was just so shocked. I was just standing there like, what the fuck? But it was good. The crowd was really good, and everyone just started like clapping and chanting until I started again, but in a supportive, like a nice way. You know?
They were just in the vibe. They just wanted to keep the party going.
Yeah, not like no one booed or anything. It was nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. I should have prepared with my notes a little bit better.
That's right. I just want to. Have you actually? Do you know much about ELP and Company Flow, Fun Crusher Plus? Or
Did you say neoprene?
No, ELP. ELP.
Nah.
Ron the Jewels is what he's most famous of now.
Oh, true.
Yeah. He released this in like 1994, I think. What was it, like 1997. Yeah, but this was that's a top tier album.
So he's
underground. Like,
so he's part of Run the Jewels now.
Yeah, he is now.
No shit.
But he released that in 1997. That was a groundbreaking album in 1997. Completely made waves.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, and then like it's a good album. Like,
I'll check that out more. Like that. Yeah, I've been listening to it. Like, this is nice.
So I wanted to ask you about your branding and because like in a way it's like when DJs make their DJ page, it's like a business almost.
Yeah.
And so like when you made it, like how's it been going? Like, did you do all the graphic design work yourself and photos and the whole process behind it?
It's been a steady
growth,
slow incline.
It's a lot of work though. Like, I have to admit.
I really don't like social media.
It's one of those things where you hate it, but you have to do it, right?
Yeah, I hate it, but you have to do it. But I think I still haven't given in to like the fact that I have to do it, so I need to get better at it. I've just decided, well, I'm just going to be me, and.
But that's such a good thing though as well, because if you just go and like, I'm just going to do my own thing, just have fun and just. Because it's all networking as well, right? I wanted to bridge into networking kind of, but like it's all about who you know almost, right?
Yeah, it is, and I feel like my page or like my socials have never gotten me as far as like word of mouth has, or just actually doing the best wherever I go and like, being
putting your heart
to
into
people
it and
like,
stuff,
being professional and showing that passion, and I feel like I can't really like bring that out through my social media yet, or I haven't figured out a way to. I do want to do like more routine videos, and I tried streaming on Twitch once, and I think I got like 2 viewers, so
and
I might
that's the thing
go back
as well.
there, but like I don't really
But that's the biggest thing about it as well. It's like Facebook is the prime thing. Almost.
Yeah.
It's like Facebook is Facebook, and Instagram is also quite big. But then when you branch out to YouTube and Twitter and Twitch and all the other different things, it's like sometimes it's just unless you're huge as it is, like it's such a big grind kind of thing.
It's a lot. It is a big grind, and like I think that's when I normally come to like kind of question myself though as to like why I'm actually using social media. Like the reasons I've made social media pages is so that people can contact me and like see it if they want to, but like I don't care if people see it. Like I'm doing this because I love doing it, and like if other people love what I do, then like they'll figure that out. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
or like they'll see me at a show and be like, sick, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And like,
no, I get you.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's a really good way about doing it, because it's not selling your soul to the social media devil. It's just like just going out and having fun.
But I do feel like the more, like especially recently, the more it's become something I need to upkeep due to like what my demands have been. It's kind of changed my my take on it. Like I feel there is like things I do need to do to make that platform more successful, so that maybe I can get like more gigs elsewhere, or build a bigger income from the fact that like I've got a social media presence, you know. But it's like it's a very big pill to swallow. Like I really hate feeling like my income or whatever is based on
your like online
social impact
profile
but like sometimes it is seen that way, and like in a lot of ways, so
So I want to ask as well, like how long are you going to do this for? Are you going to do it till you drop kind of thing, or like, well, you know,
I don't know,
what are your plans?
Cool. I want to teach like my grandkids how to DJ or something.
See, that's it. Like I'm the same thing. I want to just keep going until I can't do it anymore, because it's so much fun what we're doing.
I love doing it. I think there is going to come a time where I don't want to do it anymore, but for other people, you know. I think like the reason I did start like even consider DJing was because I've always wanted to be a performer myself, and like I feel like the reason I still haven't bridged that gap yet is because of like that extra element of performing that I'm scared of, like my voice. And I think, you know, just like I want to make beats, and I want to be able to put something out there and like speak to people with my music. Like I feel being on a stage and playing other people's music has been so great, and like, you know, you can get so many different feelings across to people and from people just by doing that. But like, how much more can I feel by doing that? Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I really want to do. So I feel I want to branch maybe more away from like doing 6 gigs a week, and like actually like making more beats and like doing more battles, and like focusing on battle breaks and putting together like my own battle breaks and scratch sentences, and like focusing on the elements that I'm really passionate about.
So you want to become more of an artist than a performer? But I still want to incorporate DJing and like keep that as part of who I am. But I think there's so much more that like I could bring to the table, and that I could do. So
that's so good though. Like, you've got the ambition. You want to do it. Like it's amazing.
Oh, dude, even, you know, as I was saying, like with COVID, like it was a huge break, and a really good one, because I ended up like I went and like, I don't know, so many people did this, but I went and bought myself a bass and a piano, and like started hanging out at my mates every day and just like playing the drums and shit, and like it made me realize so much more that I've learned about music just from DJing. And I think that that's been a huge part of me realizing like I could actually do music. Like before it was a pipe dream, but now it's like,
it's actually a possibility.
Man, if you just open that computer and like do it as much as you DJ, then that's like one day you'll be just as good.
It's the time and the dedication.
Yeah.
And it's just perfecting your craft in a way.
Yeah. So that's what I want to focus on next.
And they always say though as well, it's like, you know, you can go off and DJ, but then the next step up is production. It is becoming an artist.
Yeah.
It is playing your own music and
like maybe,
getting that name out there.
Maybe not all the time. Like I think that really bothered me for a while, like people saying like, oh, do you just DJ and all this, when like they don't actually know what kind of DJing I do. Do you know what I mean? Like It's one thing to DJ, and then it's another thing to be a turntablist and like
exactly
be a performer. And so I think it's very hard to get that fact across when like people don't know
the nitty gritty, the other side of it
about
kind of
that.
thing.
Yeah.
And so it's a similar thing as well. It's like, I'll go to a function or for example, I went to the market grounds the other day and then I met up with a group of mates and I hung out with them. It's like, oh, so you only DJ? I'm like, I just said, yeah, I DJ, but I do it in a different way. And they're like, oh, you're just a DJ. And I'm like, oh, you don't get it.
Yeah,
okay,
and they're like, oh, do you produce your own stuff too? And you'd be like, oh.
Yeah, I told them I tried and I couldn't get into it.
I'm just DJing for now. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. And they just think, oh, he's just a DJ.
But a DJ and a producer are two completely different things.
They are, yeah.
There are so many producers that are terrible DJs.
And there's so
for
many,
a matter of fact, and terrible performers, and there are so many great DJs that might be terrible producers or don't know how to yet, like myself, and I think that doesn't change the matter of, like, why does that take away from something they're great at already? Like,
exactly, yeah. It shouldn't do that at all. It should just be one of those situations, because it shouldn't be apples and oranges. It should just be like, you're artistic. You want to get into it. You've got that ambition.
But I've never actually asked those same people like what they do, because they're probably going to tell me they're a cashier or some shit. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
so like,
it, yeah. And that's where it can be silly as well, because it's like you don't. It's one of those things where it's like, when you go out and about, you don't want to be like, oh, look at me, I do this or I do that, but you kind of want to be humble and nice about it.
Yeah.
Without just being like, I just networked and
but I feel like if someone's going to start like pulling my hair, I'm.
Yeah, you pull them aside.
You're probably going to say something, Like,
yeah, and tell them what's what, kind of.
Yeah, and I feel like without being able to do that, especially in this industry, it's a bit spineless, Like, you need to be able to speak up for yourself and, like...
That's it. I have the same thing as well. It's like you should always stand up for yourself and try and do the right thing by you and others.
Yeah.
But if someone's trying to be like, an ass and bring you down, this and that, just tell them, it's like, dude... pull your head out of your ass. Like, just think about it. Like,
dude.
Just be nice. Just be friendly.
Some people just aren't, like.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But that's life. That's the world. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can be narcissists. Sometimes people can just be, introverts, extroverts, the whole lot. Like, people are people. You can't change people sometimes, but sometimes you can. But is it worth doing or? I'm just rambling, but
I ramble a lot.
It's good. It makes great content.
Yeah, it does. So, what are some of your favorite gigs as well? Like favorite places you've played at? Because you've, as I said, like from what I've seen, it seems like you play everywhere and you do a lot of good gigs. From what it looks like.
I feel like honestly, I'm in such a sweet spot right now that everywhere I'm playing at the moment is like one of the favorite places I've ever played. I'm currently doing Northbridge Brewing.
That is a good venue, honestly.
Yeah,
it's a great venue.
It's awesome, and I think that's like, it's been really good for me, especially in the last year and a half, developing there, and those guys really appreciate good music, and I feel the venues I've been working at in general, I really appreciate it, and they can see the difference, and when you notice that, it means so much,
Yeah.
So Fridays, Northbridge, Saturdays are usually at Campfield. And like after footy games.
I still have to check that place out.
Dude, the footy game...
It looks so busy and looks so good.
Yeah, honestly, during footy season, it's, I feel really nervous all the time. Yeah, not all the time, but maybe an hour before work, and then I'm walking toward this, the stadium, and there's like 10,000 people just screaming, and it's a little bit off-putting, but it's also it helps.
It helps. It's the hype almost. It's like, oh god, I'm anxious, but this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, like I almost piss myself, but it's always the best time. And even Saturday nights in general, like even without the football, there is always, it's generally really good. And then Sundays I've been doing Henry Summer, like during the day, so like 1 till 6, and then...
Whereabouts is Henry Summer? Because I've heard so much about it, but I just don't know where it is.
Is it A Street?
Oh, so it's in the city?
Yeah. Sorry, okay. In the city, right down from... Do you know where La Cholita is?
Kinda, not really.
Aberdeen Hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right across from Aberdeen.
Oh, is that where the shed used to be, kind of?
I think so.
Yeah, and then they renovated it.
I think Henry's, used to be the shed.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah.
Could be wrong, though.
Yeah, because it's got the backpackers next to it then.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Okay, I know the place.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I had no idea that became that place.
Yeah, man.
For some reason, I thought that was
venue.
like Cottesloe or like, not Scarborough, but like somewhere on the beachfront somewhere.
It does look like that. It's really nice. But yeah, I'd started there originally on Saturdays. And it was really good, really good. Saturday's a caravan club, and they've got like 2 DJs, and the back room is more of a party vibe and like more of a younger kid scene. And then the front yard or the beer garden, they'd have like disco and house and like funk. So it's a really fun venue to play. And then on Sundays, like kind of just do your thing for 5 hours. So it's really good. And then Peach Pit.
Yeah, like you were saying before, like you're lucky to have a massive gig on Sunday kind of thing. 2 gigs and just flat out all day. I'm pretty jealous about that.
Really scared someone will fire me one day, but
no,
keep doing my job.
You're too good.
I'll be alright. I hope. Yeah.
I was going to ask as well, like I've been having like pressure in a way where it's like to stay current in the music industry. When I say current, it's like buying the new tracks, like the new Edge of Midnight song with Miley Cyrus and what's that lady from Fleetwood Mac? I can't believe I can't remember her name. It's not Dire Straits.
Wait, you mean...
You got it up on the screen, right?
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks, yeah. It's like... And Joel Corey and stuff like that? Yeah. And it's like... How do you try and... Because I usually try and go to a gig and just play what I would think would work, but then try and stay out of the top 40 kind of stuff. But then, like I said, when it gets later on, I'll play Venga Boys and this and that. But... I'll play Queen and David Bowie and whatever it is, but I was just trying to avoid the pop kind of stuff. But recently I've now felt like I have to change.
I'm not like, in a way, like I'm not a huge pop fan myself. Like there's definitely some good pop out there. The current pop, personally, I think is quite trash, but it's just not my music taste. And it's familiar. Like, I think the reason... To answer your question, I try to stay away from it, but
like, if the time calls for it, then you have to...
Yeah, like, there's quite a few, like, good edits or remixes you can generally find, like, on record pools and stuff like that these days, and, like, when I hear a new song come out, I'll generally try to delve deeper and look for something that is, like, it's the track, but, like, I want to find a better edit of it, or, like, maybe something that cuts out, like... the stuff that isn't so good, or maybe just find a short edit, like but I find like the way I mix as well, like it's often, which like some people don't like either, but it's often like a lot of quick mixing, like not generally like
no, look, I do quick mixing as well,
not like a mega mix, like not 30-second mixes, but just like ways of incorporating music without it like run too long, exactly, without taking away from people like what they want to hear, but
like playing the best part of the track and then going into a really cool track after and then playing like the best part of that track. And
well, maybe not like the best part. Like I know like a little while ago, I can't remember what I was playing. But like someone was playing before me and like I reckon it was 10 minutes before I started and like I was doing a closing set and I reckon they played like the best part of every single like not every single club banger, but like the best 30 seconds of like maybe the top 50 club bangers you could ever think of.
So I'd say 30 seconds is too short almost,
but
depending
even
on...
like past that point, dude, like that's kind of burning tracks as well, do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
like, my dad sent me a message the other day and he said, when you play sets, is it all filler and no filler? And I said, it's just all vibes, man. And he said, what do you mean? And I went, well, like, I love having conversations with my dad because like he really doesn't get it, but he tries to, but
it's the same thing with my parents as well. Like.
Yeah, and I just said like, look, you're not gonna go there and just play like what you think are like the top, all the banging tracks right now. Like, it's about feeling. Like, music is about feeling something, and I feel like you need to like, it needs to flow. Like, you can't be up here all night and then like go to here and then like go to here, which sometimes I have done that, and like I used to be very actually criminal for doing that. I'd like start the night at like maybe like around 70. Like when I first started DJing, you know, I'd always start around 70, and then I'd always try to like pick it up to 100 within like, you know, the first hour or so, keep it there for a couple hours, and then 120 to 128, and then 130, 140, and then back to 70. You know what I mean?
I do the exact same.
But like,
that's yeah, holy crap! No one else has actually been able to describe that. Like I do basically the same thing almost.
Yeah,
because it just works in a way.
It does work, but then you'll find that like you're always doing the same thing because of that. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's why I was saying before, it's like you figure out the formula. It's like, you know, start off at 100 and then work your way up 110, 120, 130, 140, jump back down to 70 and play like hip hop and R&B and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like doing the same thing instead of just like just going with the flow and just experimenting kind of.
Yeah, experimenting, and just like I feel recently I've just been letting myself be there as opposed to like
be a part of it?
Something? Yeah, like be a part of it. Like be there and be like you're part of the party, do you know what I mean? Like I don't mean like get up there and drink champagne with them and like, whatever. But I mean do that too, maybe, but you know, like you're trying to make their night. Like they don't want to hear the same old shit. Like they don't want it to like be predictable and then do this and then do that. Like you want to surprise people and
that's it,
you know, make them be like, oh my god, and then make them feel something, and then make them have a mad boogie, and then maybe slow dance with someone, you know, like
that's exactly
I love doing that.
And see, that's what a good friend of mine's always said as well. It's like it's creating memories, because like all it takes is for one customer to have a bad time, and they probably won't ever come back. But if they have a great time, it's like, you know, I think it was like one in 3.
I love seeing all the same people all the time.
Yeah, that's it. It's like the locals, right?
Yeah,
and it's like I've got this thing where at the market grounds there's this guy called Scott. He introduced his name as Neo. He's been there like since day one. But I started befriending him, and he's just like the coolest guy. But in saying that now, it's every time I see him, it's like, all right, is it your shout first? Is it my shout first? So like, let's go get beers. And it creates that atmosphere because he has such a good time, even though I'm kind of working. But it's just like he wants to come back and party and have a great time.
And it's you know, like, man, I've developed maybe not particularly like I'd say like friendships, I suppose, with like people that come into the bar, and they're like, then they bring their friends back, and then like they tell their friends about it, and it becomes a culture, you know, like
exactly.
It's not. Yeah, I love going to like especially at NBC, dude. Like I don't know, I'll get there around like 10 o'clock every week that I play, and like 10:30, I reckon people just start like normally like it starts like filling out, you know. It's like sick, and everyone's like coming in, they're like, oh, it's Jess, and then you know, like getting up there and being able to play and knowing that like they know that you're not going to play the same shit as last week, but like they know that you're going to give them a good time, and like
that's it, yeah.
You know, like, and sometimes a bit of a pressure because they've brought their friends in, and you're like, oh my god.
There's different
like,
people.
I told my friends you're such a good DJ. Fuck my life.
Yeah.
I hope they like it too, you know. But I feel like it's about creating memories, and when you do that for people, like, they don't forget it.
Exactly.
They don't.
It just becomes a lasting thing.
Yeah.
And like seeing like, you know, the first kiss, and you're like, oh, look at that. Hopefully they get married, or, you know, have a relationship after, or whatever. And like I've actually had a situation like that before where it's like I've watched a couple have their first kiss, and they've come back like a year later and be like, hey, I know you. Like,
how did you know it was their first kiss?
Well, it's not so much I knew
you
it was
could
the
tell.
first kiss, but it was like it was just a romantic setting.
Yeah,
and it was like, look at that, like I played that, and then that happened. That's so cool.
I don't like. It's really funny when it happens like on odd songs, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I swear I saw this couple like rudely making out last week to WAP, and I was like.
So how many requests do you get for that garbage as well?
A lot.
Yeah.
I actually rap battled some guy to it on
really
Sunday night. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Not like I wasn't even DJing, but I just like had a good day at not indie bar, Oceans, and they're doing karaoke, and these guys wouldn't get off the stage, and I was like,
WAP time.
Fuck these guys. No, honestly, they'd already had their song, they're ruining it for everyone, and me and my friend were standing there, and like I was like, you know what? I'm not standing for this. And I just grabbed the mic off them, and like, I don't know, I think I spat like 4 lines, and they all ended with the same word. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
it's a very interesting song.
Mic down. No, it wasn't even, I didn't even rap the song. Like I made my own lyrics up and was like, I think
there
I
you
just
go.
said that they were whack, and like they think they're great, but they're whack, and they ain't shit. They're whack, and then I just, it was a great time. That's the only time I've actually enjoyed that song. But I actually have a remix of it that
Is it by Boston
Is it
Switch?
Boston Switch's one? Because that's a banger.
No, actually, I'm not gonna say some boys and gals have released some good remixes of that. But no, I've got a transitional one that like starts with "We want some pussy." And it's like everyone
Really?
say, "Hey, we want some pussy," and it's good. And then like I just play that bit and maybe the first verse, and then that's all I have to play.
And it's
Then I leave it.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
going to ask as well, what about requests? How do you handle them and stuff? Have you ever had any really atrocious requests?
all the time, all
Yeah.
the time.
It just depends on the venue as well, like what the location, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You play at nightclub, you got to put up 18-year-olds wanting their TikTok songs. So
Yeah, but you just need to remind people that you're the DJ, and like not in that sense, not in an arrogant sense or anything, but like
you're getting paid to be there. To
yeah,
provide
and like
the
you
atmosphere.
can definitely like I the way I deal with them is like people come request a song. I try to approach them in an approachable manner. I used to get really mad. Like if I saw someone like walking up to me, I'd be like,
Yeah, it's like
I'm
nope.
DJing. Like,
Nope.
no, I don't take requests. But
Yeah.
I think nowadays it's more been, especially the last couple of years, I've changed how I address the situation, because I feel like addressing it in a hostile or like sensitive manner can make them react so differently to you.
Exactly, yeah.
And like make them an asshole. But I feel like if I just normally if someone comes up to me now, I just like I smile and I say what's up and stuff, and I take their request, and I don't necessarily always play it, but I'll be truthful and I'll be like,
But that's it, right?
or I'll tell them like, nah man, it's a shit song, and most of the time they'll know it and they'll just laugh and they'll like walk off and they'll tell their friends it was a shit song and she's not going to play it.
But last time I played at Peachpit, I had a similar situation where a group of kids had done like a function or whatever, and then there's just a guy like, he's button-up shirt, open up, this and that, and he was just drunk and a bit of a mess. But
Yeah.
he kept requesting Pop Smoke. And I'm like, I don't have it, I can't buy it, I can't get signal to turn my Wi-Fi on, I'm sorry, I'm not playing
I just
it.
get really sassy with it. Like I just go,
But
baby.
The thing is with that though, is I just told him, it's like, I can't do it, I'm sorry, is there anything else you want me to play? No, that's fine, don't worry about it. So he got a little bit arrogant and a bit of an ass about it. He starts reaching over the DJ deck, grabbing my bottles of water, trying to like grab my beer and this and that. Just like slap his hand, no, lean over, yell out to some girl, get me a security guard now, and I get the security guard to stand in front of the DJ booth to the left-hand side where that group was, to make sure it's like, nah, you've lost your chance.
Yeah.
You gotta
I
play
think
to the crowd in a way. Like, if people are being actual asses, you gotta make sure you're safe in a way. Yeah, it just depends on the situation, I guess. And
honestly, never played Pop Smoke, and that's not because I'm like fuck Pop Smoke, blah blah, all this, all that, but like doesn't work. Actually, I have a remix that I've played, and it's Pop Smoke. I don't actually know what's
see, I've
song
had
it is,
a
but
little
it's
bit of a
over
look
like
at it.
Fabulous is Into You, and it's more of like a softer. But I just feel in terms of like the vibe, it's too cold, like it's too harsh, and that's even for like what, like Money by Cardi B, like even like tracks like that. It just like and like sometimes I'll play it because I got a cool remix or a cool edit, or like I'm gonna play it for a very short amount of time and then make it like into something cool. But like I feel some tracks just flatten energy
That's it,
in a way that like you can't really come back from that, and like they're not just right for that time. And like, man, people coming up and asking for Pop Smoke, like tell them to play it in their car. Like honestly, it's and that's
I'm
the
gonna
thing.
say
Like
that next time.
sometimes you deal with things differently, but I feel like if you try to react in like, or approach them, or not approach them, but let them approach you and be like approachable, and then be like just assertive and like, nah man, I ain't playing that, like choose something else, or like and try to be nice about it.
That's it, because at the end of the day, as I said, like, we're the ones getting paid to be there to do our job
as well. Like people are just there to have a good time, and like as much as a lot of people are DJs, a lot of people aren't, and they don't know that like it fucking sucks to be requested a song, or like have a shitty drunk customer, or I mean, like
someone that just won't leave you alone. Be like, no, don't you get the message? Please, I'm trying to do my job.
Yeah. And some people are just like that, and you know, like you just gotta be assertive and be like, no, man, I am playing it.
But it's just the level of it's just being professional, right? It's just being good at your job.
Yeah. Or sometimes I tell them to ask the security, or like the manager or something. I'm like, ask that guy. Ask that guy. I can play pops. And they normally say no, and then I'm like,
of course, yeah. And they'll be like, what? No.
You know,
let her do her job. What are you doing? Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, man, you mind if we got 6 comments lined up?
Oh yeah,
Facebook.
Do you want to read them out?
So Damo Hariyama says Mizhap
oh,
with
hey.
clapping emoji. Shara says this girl, and she tags you in that. It was real quick. And Greg Meldrum answers our question.
Shout out to Greg Grizzly.
Yeah, Greg Grizzly, and he says, with the attention span of patrons, we have to quick mix.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
We have literally what is it? It's like the average attention span of a human is like 4 seconds now because of mobile phones.
Yeah,
it's like less than a goldfish or something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no shit.
But like, apparently it's because mobile phones and social media and having everything so instant that it's reduced our attention span to the point where we're less than goldfish.
You know what? I'm actually
yeah, that's it.
I have been criminal for that. Like sometimes you'll open something and you'll be like, oh, it's taking too long to start, and so you just skip it halfway, and then you'll be like, 5 seconds later, and skip it a little bit.
Yeah.
I
was going to ask as well, what do you think of like the culture within Perth, like the music scene in Perth? Because, you know, drum and bass is huge, or it used to be massive. Like hip hop's kind of rising up as well through the ranks. We've got this surgence of bloody house music now happening, and like it's good, but at the same time, like in my opinion, it's like rocky waters. But
drillers fucking
drill's going off,
especially over East.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I mean,
the biggest fan of drill.
I haven't dabbled in it yet. Maybe it hasn't hit my heartstrings yet. But
so what actually is drill? I've never heard of it.
Drill rap. So 1/4. Now I'm gonna sound like such a shit person because I'm only gonna say the main.
It's a style of trap music that originated in the South Side Chicago in early 2010.
There is a lot of dope. There is still dope drill. Rap. It's just
Chief Keef was the pioneer of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just finding the gold amongst, you know, the shit.
And just like I don't know, there is a huge pocket of people that love that stuff, man. Like I think like what they mostly would play at maybe Butterfly or like those kind of nights, like would be like hip hop, R&B, drill rap, mumble rap. Like there's a big is a big audience for it. In terms of the scene, like
because it's changed a lot.
Sometimes I wish I was part of like a nice little scene, you know, so I feel like I was part of a family or something. But they all seem to like really support and like help each other out, you know. Maybe that's just looking from the outside, but like mainly being open format these days, or like doing battling and like open format stuff.
Because that's what's so whack about Perth, right? It's like over in Melbourne and Sydney and everywhere else, it's like it's just like house prominent in a way. But then Perth, we're kind of like in our own little bubble where, you know, you can still go out and play the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, even though it's not so much at pubs. But
Melbourne's house prominent, but that's only from what you've seen. Like, have you been to Melbourne much recently?
Not recently.
Kind of impossible.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not recently, but like the last couple of years, like I've travelled there quite a bit, and canvassed for like my own gigs and stuff, and mainly gotten like bar work. Like I couldn't really crack the club scene. Still haven't, but I know I will. But,
when you say that, do you mean like DJ wise or?
DJ wise, like getting a set at a club over East. I think like sometimes like you're just not relevant if like you've come from somewhere like Perth.
Yeah.
Depends, you know.
Yeah, but I've heard that before.
You just need to prove yourself.
A lot of people have said that it's like, you know, you got to move to Melbourne and then start in Melbourne and build the ranks up through there, and then you can get really good gigs and this and that.
But I found you know, like one of the bars I did was a really nice underground, like intimate, like jazz hip hop bar, and
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. Didn't pay me much. It was very not practical at all to fly over there to do something like that. And like, but you know, it was a cool experience. And
that's it.
Yeah, I was just playing underground, like old school, like West Coast, like hip hop and rap, R&B, you know, some like jazz stuff. It was really cool. And then another bar I'd played in the South Bank, it was you know, a mixture of neo, R&B, like funk, hip hop, I suppose. Like that's what I call it, but it's more like funky edits of hip hop. Yeah,
Still,
and like
sounds,
easy dance stuff and all that, you know.
And how did the crowd react to it though, as well? Like,
yeah,
they all got along and vibed and
yeah. I think like you kind of suss out things while you go, but I'd heard like some of the other DJs that play there, and like, you know, one of them would just play house like the whole time, and like one of them would mix it up a bit and go from, you know, R&B and hip hop to like edits and house and stuff and around the place, which is like more, I guess, what I would be doing. And you know, like some people do have like their set thing is like, this is what I do, and I guess some people change it up a bit more and like do this and then do that, or ever changing, you know, like.
But that's exactly, it's just like what we said in the beginning, where it's like, you know, you're your own artist in a way. You know, if you go out and play a wicked house set, but then it's like, you know, you just play house and you still played a wicked house set though, right? Like, instead of being open format and play a bit of this, a bit of that, and do this and do that. Like,
but I enjoy doing that. But that's what I was kind of saying. Like, sometimes I wish I was part of I wish I had one thing that I wanted to do and that was it. Because then maybe I would be part of like a group or like a movement, I guess, you know what I mean? Like I feel like sometimes it's just like me, just chilling, you know? Like,
no, I get the same vibe as well sometimes in my own ball court, where it's just like I go out and I play at a bar, but I'm like, you know, I just play open format. You know, I'm not a drum and bass DJ, I'm not a house DJ, I play rock and roll.
I feel like as well, like you really need to know what you want to do, because maybe not, but people sometimes they just do like, sometimes they don't. And when like R&B Fridays first hit me up, I was like really freaking out about like when I first started DJing, that's all I wanted to do. Like that R&B was my thing. Like R&B was all I wanted to do. And I would learn everything else, but I knew that ultimately that was what I wanted to do, and like that's what I wanted to be known for. You know, like I wanted to be like #1 R&B DJ. And then like R&B Fridays released a poster of me that said #1 R&B DJ, and I was like, fuck. Does this put me in a pocket? Like, does this put me in a box and like say like this is what you are and this is what you do? And like, does this mean that I have to decide now that like this is all I do and this is all I'm going to do? And it actually freaked me out.
So that's the one thing I don't like about the industry, where it's like, you know, if you become a producer and you produce house music, you kind of get like the contracts and certain record labels and like.
I also reckon fuck that, because there's so many producers that make so much different stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
So like,
but then they've kind of like raised through the ranks to be able to do that, I would say. Yeah. In a way, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm a big believer in like sticking to your guns, and I reckon like if you just want to do whatever you want, then like do it. You know, I feel like no one can like put you in that box except for you. So like when that happened, I was like, I could let that happen, or I could just keep being me and keep being Mizhap and doing my thing. And like, if someone doesn't like it, then
then whatever.
They don't like it. Like, I'm much better off just doing what I want to do.
That's such a good attitude, though. I have to say, it's a great attitude. It's just like
sometimes
go with the flow.
It bites you in the foot, you know. But like,
the thing is, though, you've come so far doing what you do, and it's worked.
Yeah.
Like, it's worked out really well.
Yeah, it's been good. But even in like the scene, I feel like the scenes in Perth are mainly drum and bass, house. There's a really good reggaeton scene, man. Like,
really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen much of that. Like,
oh, dude.
So I've heard of Afrobeat popping up.
Yeah, like reggaeton, Afrobeat, dirty, dancehall. Like, there's a nice,
is Afrobeat,
nice community of
what is reggaeton?
Goes off and they have
yeah.
Because then, like, what actually is reggaeton's just like 100, 110, isn't it? BPM.
I'm not really a master on the subject, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
The same thing as
I just know that I like it. You know, like yeah, and I think like it's a huge dance community. You know, like it's for the feel, and like everyone goes there for like the community vibe and like to have a dance and like to sweat it out. You know, and like it makes me like think of how it was like in the 90s and like obviously I wasn't around, but like how it was, and like seeing the videos of the clubs back in the day and thinking like, man, these people are actually dancing, you know, like getting down. They're not standing on the dance floor, like
haven't got their phones
with their
out,
drink and their phone out and staring in the sky. And like, I think that's really cool. But I don't really know much about like more scenes apart from that. And obviously, like a hip hop's coming up, but I don't really know. There is actually like, there's a good doof scene apparently. Yeah,
the doof scene in Perth.
I've been to a doof. I could never definitely never get into it.
No, I'm the same as well. I went out to one that was like,
crazy,
wow.
wild.
It's just like music 24/7 for 3 days. And it's just dun dun dun.
Yeah,
dun,
like
dun,
props to
dun.
them, man. And I can honestly now that I've been to one, I'm like, I can
you like understand it.
I can understand, like why they would why that music makes sense. You know what I mean? Because it does, but like most of the time it doesn't to me. You know?
Yeah, it's just the culture behind it.
Oh, dude, and there's an awesome culture, but still crazy. Like, there's so many different pockets of like the scene and
there's just subgenres popping up left, right, and centre, and different things, and this and that. And
but that's
ever
the
growing.
beauty of it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's never growing thing. We were running out of time.
Yes.
One last thing I wanted to ask as well. Where did the name Mizhap come from?
Well, actually, like it's actually not even that interesting in a story. I wish it was, but when I first started DJing, I called myself J Blitz.
It's a cool
you
name.
can laugh. That's okay.
No, that's not bad at all,
fine.
though. That's actually not a bad name, to be honest. Like J. Blitz. Like I've heard a lot worse names. Honestly.
Yeah, actually, it could have been worse, but it's pretty funny. I think when I decided I wanted to change it is when I was at a show and I told someone was like, "What's your DJ name?" And I was like, "Oh, it's J Blitz," and they're like, "J Klitz," and I was like,
God.
That wasn't it. And so then I was like, actually, I think I'm going to rebrand. And I wasn't really digging it anyway. And my sister had just said like, man, we do think of some names. Like, I love it a bit, but doesn't really know hip hop from a bar of soap, you know, but was just coming up with all these names and was like, what about Mizhap, you know, like, sounds cool, sounds hip hoppy. And I was like, is that with a Z? And then, we just agreed on that and it was like, and it didn't mean anything at first, but it's come to be
like fruition in a way.
Fruition that I don't know. The way I've really learned how to mix properly in the last few years is learning how to recover from my mistakes and making those mistakes and making something really cool out of them. So
well, it's just a learning curve for everything, right?
Yeah.
It's we never stop learning. It's just you got to keep trucking, as I said ages ago.
Yeah. So Mishap being mistake, I guess that was what came from it.
Yeah, it's a good name though, and like I said, J Blitz is still a good name as well. Yeah,
I'll keep it in the archives. But,
it's not just quickly before we wrap things up. So, I've run with the nickname to Alex Taylor Vivian, and people have called me TV for 19 years, right?
That's
my friends and stuff like that. But then I've recently, last couple of years, people have been TB, tuberculosis. And it's no, with the V. And it's
I guess people are always going to do it, you know? But,
exactly. It's just to have that little dig. But then it's at the end of the day, who cares?
I don't think I think I'd already decided that I wanted a new name already. I think it was just that.
Yeah, it's that time for the
kind of
evolution.
Pushed me over,
yeah. All right, well, let's wrap it up. All right. What an episode.
Oh, I think before, there's
such a good episode.
There's some
we've got comments and stuff?
Some comments.
Yeah.
And is that Jay Hockley as well?
Jay Hockley does.
Shout out. I can't wait to get her on.
And Grizzly says, oh shit, that was me, lol. I think he was the one who started before you with that one gig, or?
Oh, nah, that wasn't you, man. It's all good.
Never mind. Alex, you're sounding old, dude. Ha ha ha.
I am old. So shit. I'm getting ancient.
And Shira says we'll have to ask her to smash out some techno next time I see her.
Yeah, fucking
laughing
emoji. No, I've actually been loving tech house. That's the thing. I go to geisha and I'm like, man, I want to be here so bad. DJing.
It's such a vibe at that venue, honestly.
Oh, dude.
Every time I go there, and it's this is cool. This is really cool.
Ned says best podcast in Perth. Back at it.
Oh, I love those guys. Sub-Era.
And Grizzly comes out with some real nuggets of wisdom. We are open format DJs. We don't have our own clique.
We don't have our own.
Yeah, that's true. That's just
Well, we are our own little
Yeah, I was gonna say
family in a way.
we are the click makers.
Yeah, we're the OFDs, bro. Put it out. Can we start running with that?
OFDs?
OFDs.
What does that stand for?
OFDJs, man. Open format.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I get it. Sorry.
And Alan May says that's where
My
the
bad.
old aliases come in handy. Let Eric Pides playing techno under Serious D and the more trancey proggy stuff under Predator.
Wait, can you repeat that last one?
Yeah,
Sorry,
what did Alan say?
Alan said, i.e., Eric Pride's playing techno under Serious D and the more trancey proggy stuff under Prada.
Yeah. Well, it's similar thing with like Getter and what was his name? He
Wait,
did.
what was that relating to? Sorry.
Oh, when
that
we
was
were,
talking about aliases, like when you're changing your name.
yeah, and like
yeah,
sticking
yeah.
with one
Actually,
genre.
Sorry, dude.
Changing your name when you're
I'm
doing
lost.
the
No.
R&B night and how you didn't want to be pigeonholed as an R&B
Yeah,
DJ.
yeah, and that's the thing. You can be so many different aliases. Like,
Mm.
don't pigeonhole yourself.
That's it.
There you go. Nice.
Spread your wings and fly.
Yeah.
And on that, let's spread the wings of this DJ. Of this
Yep.
podcast.
So this is episode 59. Thank you so much, Jess.
Thank you.
This has
Thanks for
been
having me.
great,
It's been
honestly.
really good.
And you get to be the first signature on our big brown bit of
Oh
cardboard.
my god! I thought you were gonna say you can be the first like person to have a photo against our wall. And I was like,
Oh, no, we don't do photos.
Thank God.
Just signatures.
Alright, cool.
But
Alright.
yeah, oh, you can sign it as soon as we finish. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
You have
it's
to
been
come
good.
back on, honestly.
I definitely will. When I've got like more shit to say, I guess.
Oh, I can reckon you've got heaps of shit to say. We just didn't go. We just, shortcut by time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's been like an hour and
an hour and 36.
36.
Damn, filled
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. And so next week, I had to do some rescheduling, but we've got Ember Richardson coming on. I can't wait. She's a legend in the scene, and we're getting her boyfriend on to talk about everything music and drum and bass.
Are they
and-
coming on together?
Yep. I can't
That's
wait.
gonna be sick.
I've been wanting to get them on for a while, but then just bookings and everything. But they seem like an absolute power couple in the scene.
Honest legends, man. I actually have only met Em, but absolute sweetheart and like
Yeah, she just seems like
so good at what
the
she does.
right attitude
Yeah.
for the whole thing, just the right attitude.
Yeah, man.
So I can't wait.
Drum and bass scene, you know.
That's
It
it.
was so lovely.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
so much. And
Thanks,
Damo,
Jess.
this is your second episode of the new season.
It is actually.
You're doing good, boy.
Yeah, run
You're
us
doing
through
good.
it, run us
All right, and we'll see you guys next week with Ember and everybody else. Yeah, we can't wait.
All right.
All right, catch you guys.
Thank you.